Well, this is the battle for the fort again. I'm including this one because one couldn't be included because of previous computer problems, but I'm putting this one in. I'm not going to show the whole battle here because it's very dull and very foggy and not much fun to watch, really, I don't think. But I thought I'd put it in anyway because it demonstrates how I deal with large batteries of artillery gathered against a fort of any kind, whether it's a city or whether it's a fort like this one that's just been built by a general. I put all my troops in the middle. Well, I put one of my troops on the wall and the rest all in column in the middle. The one on the wall will hold back anything that's coming over the wall, say at the rear of my infantry that I've got inside the fort. What I do with the infantry in the fort is I put them into a semicircle. I judge where the infantry are going to come from. They tend to attack in two places, so I hold them back on one place on the wall, as I've just explained, and then I prepare to receive the others actually inside the fort. The cavalry I just leave out of the way because I don't want them to get in the way of any sort of melee combat, but they are quite handy for chasing people down afterwards, which is what I'll be using them for. I've made my own mistake, which is not to limit the game length. I should always set that really before a turn end, just in case they come and fight me, because what it means is at the end of this battle, when I've defeated the infantry and chased him off with the cavalry, I've then got about 6, 7, sometimes 8 or even more batteries of artillery, all that can fire case shot or canister shot, whatever you want to call it, and it's a nightmare getting at them with the only bit of cavalry that I've got, you know. So to me it's a bit silly if you're doing an assault on a city or a fortress and you're defeated, then you would not leave your artillery there in the field, you know, open to the enemy to come out and take it. Because what I would do is wait till nightfall. I'd wait till nightfall and I'd sneak out there, I'd gather round his artillery, I'd cut him off, cut off his supplies, and then just take his artillery for nothing. So really, when all the combat troops have left the game, I personally think that the artillery should leave as well. But I don't think that's been factored into the game. It's been sort of allowed that there will be a length of the game, and so basically if his infantry attack fails and I just stay in the fort, what will happen is the game will end, and then his artillery will retreat on the campaign map. That's why it's a good idea to set a game limit. You can see what's happening here. I'm firing at him from every angle at once. What I do is when he gets close to me, I change to melee combat so that I can fight him more effectively. What I do with those troops that fire in from the side is I sometimes disable their fire because I'm worried that they're going to fire at the troops that are just about to go in instead of the troops that are appearing, you know, ready to go in second. In other words, the second wave. So I sometimes sort of hold on to their fire for a little before doing that. So you can see what's happening. I'm taking him on a one-to-one melee there, having shot at him with 4 infantry units. Now I'm going to shoot at the second lot coming in, again with 4 infantry units. Doesn't take long to break the morale when you do this, because of course the infantry unit that's fighting right there in the front, in fact there are 2 of them there now, have both got the disadvantage of having infantry on their flanks. In addition to that, mine have a morale bonus because they're defending a fort. So he has little chance. You can see the back regiment there. I was going to look at that back regiment there. These are my troops that I put on the wall. Nothing seems to be coming that way whatsoever. In fact, the enemy attacking seem to have bypassed those chaps completely somehow. I don't know how they've done that. Anyway, you can imagine what's going to happen. We're going to close the trap, put everything on melee attack, and charge him inside the building. Hit those that are heavily engaged at the front there with everything that I've got, you know, nearby from the flanks, and then attack the others as well. So it's a turkey shoot basically, and then after that it's when his morale breaks, it's attacking from every angle at once. Once he starts to run completely and he's going out of the fort, then I send my cavalry after him to chase him off, which is fine, and it sounds like a good battle. It works well. But then, like I say, you've got all that artillery to deal with. If you don't do anything, if you just sit in the fort, they will continue to pound the fort over and over and over and over again ad infinitum, because there's no limit to artillery fire, to ammunition for artillery. So anyway, I'm not going to go through all that with you and show how I chase off all this infantry and then organise the cavalry by going all the way around the back of him, putting a decoy on the wall to attract his artillery fire forwards, while I then charge him from the back and hope that some of them don't turn around and fire canister shot at me, which invariably they do. One of the reasons for keeping cavalry, of course, in the fort is that if I don't chase them off, then they come back again, and the French are a rich nation. They can simply replenish them within a couple of turns and add brand newly raised troops to them as well as reinforcements. You can see me now starting to bring the cavalry out of the fort as well. That's in preparation for taking out the artillery. Well, a lot of chasing down routing troops now. Not very clear, very poor visibility on this winter of 1712. As a matter of interest, sometimes it's worth, if you can, keep some troops back, just put them in that middle flag there. Just put them on there, because sometimes routers do come back, and they'll come back over a different wall than where you're chasing. The last thing you want to do, certainly, is take out all your infantry and go chasing, because they can just come back, sit in the middle of the fort, and if you haven't got time to get back there, then they've won the game. So there the French go, retreating yet again. It's not the first occasion, but I thought I'd show you the one with artillery there, how I deal with it differently if there's artillery. If you put all your men on the walls to resist him on the walls, he'll hit those walls and the walls will crumble underneath you, and you will lose whole regiments in rubble. You know, and it's just not worth doing that when he's got so much artillery. This is the end of winter 1712, as you remember. I'm just going through the first nations, the first few. This is where the British come in very, very handy as allies, holding off a decent sized Spanish fleet there. Massively reduced both of those there. I don't know what sort of ships they are and whether they make very good prize money. Maybe I should start investigating that fairly soon. I do like to keep the English Channel as safe as I can for as long as I can though, so I am tying up a lot of big ships in there. These are the Spanish going off into Pueblo lands again. This is Texas, by the way, they keep going into. They're so determined to get Texas, aren't they? Okay, we've got technology improvements, a gentleman that's appeared in the most ridiculous place. No universities or schools around him. He can't turn left because it's all wooded area. The only way to get him off there is with a fleet and carry him off to an island where he can go into a school. So that's going to be a bit of a problem now, getting him off to school. Various nations going to war with each other. There's another recruit there in Ceylon. I once played the game. I've played United Provinces a few times, up to about 5-7 game turns. Never this long, of course. But Ceylon's one of those places a big fleet can go around with an army on it and just wipe it out. That's why I'm so keen on having a fortress there and extra troops. They can do the same, of course, with Amsterdam. It's just so important to make these areas strong. Okay, just making sure that we're stealing research again, as normal. And this has been video 61. Oh, and the Brits have arrived.